There, this is Art and Such, and today I have a Rainbow Loom tutorial for you by request for Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. We're going to make one change, which is to raise the lower body up just a little bit. And otherwise we'll be making what you see here. I'm going to do one arm and one leg with you and get you to pause for the second ones. And otherwise we're going to make this together. So you're going to need some skin tone bands, 2 golds or yellows, a handful of silvers, black and blue. We're going to do some of this on the hook and some on our loom, and our loom will be in the standard offset configuration. So let's begin with an arm, and you're going to take 2 skin tone bands and wrap them twice onto your hook. Now grab 1 blue and 1 black band. Place them together at the end of your hook and slide on your skin tone bands. Put your other end back. Next we take 2 blues and 1 black, and we're going to slide the previous set over that. And we go to 2 blacks and 1 blue. And the order doesn't matter as long as you've got those 3. Slide on. Switch back to skin tone and place 3 bands on the end of your hook. Slide your blues and blacks over and replace. And we go back to our double blue, single black combination. 3 bands all together. Slide on. Get 2 blacks and 1 blue. Slide on. And we're going to put on another 3 skin tone bands. And we will do sort of a split muscle look. So we're going to take 2 bands, get them ready, skin tone. Take your top 3 off. I'm going to hold this tight with my left hand and pinch the hook with my left fingers. We take our 2 skin tone, put them on the top and hold them tight. Slide over, replace so that it's come through the far side, or the inner side of your triple skin tone. Then place your other 3 back on, and we will take 2 more skin tone bands and slide them through the first 3 towards the end of your hook. Alright, so there's one arm, and you're going to make a second one. And I will put this on a side hook, and then we can start on our legs. For the leg, we're going to do a basic boot design and extend it just a little bit further. So you take 2 black bands, wrap them twice on your hook. Pull it onto 2 black bands, but don't replace the end. Now again, we're going to hold this tight with the left hand. Take 2 blacks and wrap them twice. Excuse me. Now return your other end to the top of your hook. We're going to slide 2 more bands through everything that's on your hook, but again, we don't replace this end just yet. We take another 2, wrap them over the top twice, put our other end back, and now we're going to take a single black, double it over, and slide it through all of these. This will make for a longer kind of boot. From here, we're going to add 3 sets of triple or 3 black bands. So that's 1 set of 3. Two sets of 3. We want a little bit of thickness to show his muscle, of course. Something isn't sliding here, let's find out what it is. There. And a 3rd set of 3. And then This next part, if this is tricky for you, you can add 2 more sets of 3. I'm going to add 2 sets of 4 to make it really bulky closer to the hip. So here is 1 set of 4. You can use 3 if the 4 is too much. And a second set of 4 bands. And then you want just 3 bands together. And we're going to slide it on. And you can put this on your holding hook and make another, but before you do, or after you do, I'm going to show you for our leg bands, or to show a little bit of blue, we take a single, put it over the leg, twist it around, and bring it over a second time. And you can slide it upwards to where the leg is really thick. And then we're going to do a second one just below that. Take a single, slide it on, and twist it around, slide it on again, and pull it upwards a little bit. And I will place this with my other leg, and you'll see what they look like here. So we have, when you've paused and caught up to me here, you'll have 2 legs and 2 arms. And then we're going to move on to the loom. Now I wanted my neck to be very thick, so I used 4 black bands from the top center to the second peg in the center. Again, if you're feeling like any of these are too much to work with, you can always cut them back to 2 or to 3. I'm going to use 2 blacks from the second center to the second right, and 2 from the second center to the second on the left. Now we're going to fill out the middle, and we'll go from there. So our next set in the middle consists of 3 black bands, and it comes from the second peg down to the third peg down. Then we're going to use double black bands, just 2. And 2 sets of double blue. For the belt, I'm using gray, and I'm going to take 2 bands. These are really thick bands to begin with, but I'm going to take 2 bands from the 6th peg down to the 7th, and 3 gray bands, or silver bands, from the 7th to the 8th. Now we go back to blue. I'm using 4 blues. I want a thicker inside section. So we come down with 4 once and twice. And then I will use 3 blues and 2 blues, and I'm going to finish here. Originally, and if you like this length, you can do this. Originally, I had my bands go 1 further. You can even stop at 1 shorter if you'd like. We're going to start with 1 set on either side, 2 bands each, and then you will take your gold or yellow for this chest piece and wrap it twice onto your 3rd peg down on either side. Now if you have a looser band or a thinner band, you can wrap it an extra time if you'd like. We'll come down 3 more times using double blues and just place it right on top of that gold. Switch to gray and come down once with double bands. And then we're going to switch to black and come down with double bands again. Once. That didn't work. Let's try that again. Twice. 3 times. And 4 times. We need to do this again on the right side. So we'll come back to the top, and from our 3rd peg down to our 4th peg, we use double blue, and a 3rd set of double blue. This should be completely symmetrical with the bands on the opposite side. We need double gray bands and 4 sets of double black. I'm trying to find ones that aren't too stretched out here. They're all mixed up here. 3 and 4. You can take your legs from the hook and you're going to take the first 3 and place them on your 3rd peg from the bottom of the loom where we finished our blue, and the other 3 of that first leg onto that center 2nd from the bottom. And we'll repeat that on the other side. Place 3 onto that center and 3 onto the peg on the right bottom. We're going to take a single blue and cap off that 2nd peg from the bottom 3 to 4 times. And we can put on some holding bands. We start with black and we're just going to do loose singles, forming triangles from starting at the 3rd peg from the bottom and raising it above, or fitting it onto each of the 3rd pegs across. Another single black, another single black, and another single black. We are going to take one more black here, and then we're going to take a gray and stretch it across. You can switch to blue and create 2 triangles and stop here because we're going to have to do some adjustments when we get to this piece. Now we want to add our arms, but we're going to do it in a slightly different way. We're going to make side extensions so that this section, this part is a little bit thicker, and then our arms are going to go onto there. So take a single blue, wrap it twice, and pull it onto 2 sets of double blue bands. The bands that are now on your hook can go onto your 2nd peg down, and the piece that's at the very end, our cap band, you're going to put your hook inside, stretch it out, and bring it to the 4th peg down from the top. So skip 1 and go to the next piece. And what we're going to do here, this again is a little tricky, but it's not so bad. Take the hook that has your arm, pull the top 2 blue bands off of your loom, slide your arm over those 2 blues carefully, and replace. And we will do this for the other side. We're going to do our little extension first. So take a single, wrap it twice, pull it onto 2 sets of double blue bands. I've got my thick hook here again. Should have kept with the thin one. We'll grab that for the next piece again. Bands that are on your hook will go onto the 2nd peg from the top on your right, and the piece that's at the very bottom will be stretched out and placed onto the 4th peg down. And we take our top 2 bands, pull them off carefully, put your arm on carefully, and replace. And just check that you're getting all of your bands back where they need to go with each time you loop. Okay, we can start to loop up. We're gonna come up the middle, but you're gonna stop when you reach the 4th peg from the top. So go under the cap band, go under your black bands, and we're going for our bottom blues. And we'll loop up all of the bands. Some of these, remember, have 3 or 4. Just check that you're getting all of them. And when you reach the black, you can stop. we will go back to the bottom on the side, and we're going to go for the bottom 2 black or gray or blue of each side. So push back everything but the bottom 2 and bring them up and over carefully. Up and over. And we won't go all the way, we're going to go past the silvers. And 1 blue, up 2 blues, up 3 blues, and we're going to stop at that peg that is the 3rd peg from the top. This is where we have our little gold piece. Now we're going to move the arm out of the way. You're going to take your hook, put it underneath the blue, catch your gold, and bring it up and over. Okay, here's where it gets a little bit tricky, but we can do this. We're gonna take a blue band, have it handy, lift up the top 2 bands that are holding the gold, and stretch your blue from this peg, the 3rd peg from the top, to the 3rd peg from the top in the middle. And you can take the bands on your hook and put them back. And we have one more step to do on the side, which is to take a piece out of the extension chain, one of the bands on the chain holding the arm, and pull it over. Now we can reach in, grab the 2 bottom blue, loop up, and find the top or the bottom 2 black and loop them to the center. Now this side is complete. Our center's almost done, but we're still gonna wait here, and we're gonna come up the right side, repeating what we did on the left. So loop straight up until your bands are sitting just on that peg with the gold chest piece. Only go for the bottom 2 blue. Now here we go under the blue, bring the gold up and over, take off the blue, our top 2 blue, and we are going to stretch that holding band over across. And then we're going to get the hook untangled. And place the bands back from your hook. Grab a section from your little arm extension chain and put it over. And loop up from under the arm. Then loop your blacks into the center. And now we can loop up the rest of the way down the middle. Just go straight through, get your bottom bands each time. And if you did as I did, then you have 4 bands to grab on your top. So we want to make sure we get all of those. Okay, we're good. We can take this off the loom. You're going to hold on to the bands on the top center peg, and the rest can be eased off of your loom. Adjust it as need be, and this can just sit on the hook for the moment. I think I like this side better myself. I'm gonna turn mine around a bit. We will go back to the loom, and we're gonna start on our face. Okay, so go to the top, and we come down with double blacks from the top center to the top right, and from the top center to the top left. Come down on each of your rows with double black bands. So the center, the left, and the right. Now we will do one set of skin tone in the middle, double bands, and we're going to come from our second side pegs to our third middle peg using double skin tone bands. Grab 2 blue bands and come down once and twice on each side. And in the center twice as well. 2 sets of double bands. We'll bring in 2 bands from the 4th side to the 5th center and from the 4th right to the 5th center. And our holding bands are all going to be doubled over bands because we want our face to be small and tight. So take a single blue, double it over, stretch it across all of your 4th pegs in a triangle formation. And repeat for the set above. And we're going to have a doubled over band for the skin tone. Maybe we'll use blue. We can use blue here. And that is that. Let's put our body, our neck piece. I know there are lots of bands. If this is overwhelming, you can put these all into 2 bands and transfer those. I'm going to try to maintain what I've got here. And I'll stretch these down a little so you can see what's going on. Okay, so the neck piece goes onto the 5th peg down in the center, and we're going to look for the top 2 blue bands, which it actually seems are coming from the left. And the next 2, and the last 2 will go straight up. You can finish going up the center once. Bring your skin tone bands back to the side, and loop up 2 more times. And on either side, you're going to loop straight to the top. Bottom bands only. 2 bottom bands only. Bring your diagonal bands back to the center. We do this all on the left side. And the last 2 black come up to the center, where we will take a single black, and we're going to pull it through the bands on the top center peg and create a slip knot. So pull one end over the other, hold on to that knot, and carefully remove this from your loom. Okay, give everything an adjustment. You can decide if there's one side you like better than the others. And you're going to take your securing band and hide it at the back, whichever piece you've designated as such. Slide it under a couple of bands and pop it onto a C-clip. Okay, so there is your Sub-Zero. Thank you for watching.